It's 4:47 in the afternoon, and the workday still wants 3 more hours tonight. You didn't waste the morning. You didn't take a long lunch. So why are you behind? Here's the answer nobody gives you. Maybe you're not. Maybe your plan died at 10:17 this morning and nobody told you. The meeting ran long. The information came late. Somebody added one quick thing, which, as far as I can tell, is the most dangerous unit of measurement in modern work. So that plan you think you're failing, it stopped being true before lunch. This one's for the person who keeps asking their evening to rescue a workday that changed without asking. Today, I'll show you how to change the plan without giving up the purpose. 3 moves: pause, preserve, pivot. And there's one more thing that moves when a plan breaks. Nobody writes it down, but it may be what's paying for your nights. If you are new here, I Am Built for Pressure is for people carrying real weight at work, at home, and the places nobody sees. And if you are still negotiating with yourself at 4:47 in the afternoon, carelessness isn't the problem. You made a reasonable plan. Then the day changed the terms without asking you. A client changed the request. A coworker called out. A decision came late. The meeting that was supposed to take 20 minutes developed a childhood, a college degree, and strong opinions about next steps. But the plan stayed exactly where you left it at 8 o'clock. So you adjusted the only thing that didn't need anyone's approval. You moved faster. You cut lunch to 11 minutes. You answered messages during the meeting. You carried the rest home and called it commitment. Sometimes that's right. Real work has real seasons. But when it's every night, your quiet sacrifice hides a choice somebody else should have made out loud. That's how catching up becomes a trap. Catching up sounds responsible. It feels responsible, but it hides an assumption nobody checks, that the first plan is still the right one. Here's the thing about a plan. It's the best decision you could make with what you knew. It's not a promise. You didn't swear an oath to your calendar. So when the day changes and the plan doesn't, that cost lands somewhere. I'll show you exactly where. But first, finish one sentence for me. Since I made this plan, blank became true. Now don't fix it yet. Just separate what changed from what you're deciding about yourself. That's the first move. Pause. Researchers at UC Irvine studied what happens when people get interrupted at work. Here's the part that stays with me. The people who got interrupted usually still finished. Sometimes they even worked faster, but they paid for it. More stress, more frustration, more pressure. That's what capable people do under pressure. When the day breaks, we don't complain. We become the repair plan. But speed hides a broken plan by moving the cost into you. Your focus pays. Your patience pays. The people waiting at home pay. And sometimes the math just doesn't work. No amount of hustle puts 4 extra hours into a Tuesday. So let me say it plainly. Sometimes you're not behind the plan. The plan is behind reality. And if the answer to a changed day is always more of you, the system never has to learn anything. Now, there's a car factory in California that spent years getting this exactly wrong. At GM's old Fremont plant, the assembly line was not supposed to stop, ever. So if you fell behind, you struggled alone. You got yelled at, and you watched the mistake you couldn't fix roll down the line to somebody else. Then Toyota and GM reopened the plant together as NUMMI. And Toyota brought a cord. They called it the Andem cord. And if you were in trouble, you pulled it. Not to quit, to ask for help. A team leader came over. And if the problem couldn't be fixed right there, that section of the line stopped before more work got built on top of the mistake. One veteran worker watched Toyota stop the line over a single bolt that had gone in crooked. One bolt. Under the old system, that line would have kept moving, and that bolt would have disappeared under the layers of finished work. He said later, "One bolt changed my attitude." Think about it. What actually changed? At the old plant, falling behind meant something was wrong with you. At Toyota, falling behind meant something was wrong with the day. The speed of the line was the plan. A car that worked was the purpose. And Toyota was willing to change the first one to protect the second one. Most of us don't have a cord hanging over our desk like the Andam cord. Although I can think of several meetings where one would improve the decor. But we need a moment where what change becomes visible before we build the rest of the day on top of it. That's what I mean by adjusting without panic. Adjusting without panic doesn't mean you feel calm. You probably won't. It means shame doesn't get to write the next plan. So take an adjustment reset. Before you add another hour, another promise, another layer of hurried work, 2 minutes on paper. 10 if someone else has to be in the conversation. Pause the motion. Preserve the purpose. Pivot the plan. The purpose holds. The route is allowed to change. And if you use this once this week, use it in the moment you hear yourself say, "I'll just finish it tonight." Because before you give away the evening, you ought to know what you are buying. So let me run a real Tuesday through this. Not a clean example, it's a messy one. 8 in the morning. Finish the client proposal by 3. Finish the internal report by the end of the day. Sounds reasonable. 9:20 in the morning. You find out the proposal data won't show up until 1:30 in the afternoon. 10:45. Your manager adds a second client request. Needed by 4. And the panic plan shows up. And it shows up immediately, doesn't it? Answer messages during the meeting, skip lunch, rush the proposal, finish the report at home. In other words, you become the extra person nobody hired. Instead, pull the cord, pause, ask one question. What became true after I made this plan? Well, 2 things. The data came late and a second request got added. And sometimes what changed is you. Your focus ran thin. You put off the hard start. You said yes too fast. I've done all 3, one of them this week already. That still deserves facts instead of shame. I'm terrible with time isn't a fact. The approval landed at 1:30 is. Pause isn't permission to stop caring. It's permission to stop speeding up until you know what changed. Reality isn't criticizing you, it's telling you something. Second move, preserve the purpose. Ask yourself what result, what responsibility, what relationship still has to be protected. On Tuesday, the purpose is a proposal your client can actually make a decision on, and an honest answer about the new request. 3 o'clock isn't the purpose. It never was. It was the route. Another week, the purpose might be keeping a client's trust, or keeping the promise you made at home, instead of making your family pay for a problem at work. Here's the difference. Panic protects whatever is loudest. Adjusting protects what matters. So stop asking yourself, how do I save every piece of the old plan? Ask yourself, which promise actually carries the purpose? Changing a plan doesn't mean you care less. Sometimes it means you care too much about the outcome to pretend the old route still works. You can be all in on the purpose and completely done with the plan. Now for the third move. This is where most people finally see what has been paying for their plans. Pivot the plan. Ask yourself what moves. Start with 5 practical levers. Sequence, what happens first, scope, what gets smaller, standard, what has to be finished and what can be good enough to review, support, who else needs to touch this, schedule, what moves to another day. On Tuesday, the internal report can move, or the proposal is ready to review at 4 and finished tomorrow, or someone else takes the new request. Every plan is built on assumptions about time, information, interruptions, or help. When one breaks, something has to move. So what if none of it can move? Not the order, not the size, not the standard, not the help, not the date. Now remember what I told you at the start. Here it is. There's a sixth thing that moves. It's not on the list because nobody writes it down. It's you. You stretch, your evening stretches, your focus, your patience, your health, and the people who love you cover the difference. The work didn't get smaller. The cost just moved into a person. So let me say that clearly. Changing the plan isn't lowering the standard. It's choosing where the cost goes before it quietly goes into a human being. And if you hand it out at work to other people, hear this once. A new priority that changes nothing else isn't a new priority. It's more work wearing a priority badge. If nothing came off the list, nothing was reprioritized. Maturity isn't proving you can absorb every change. It's naming the cost while people can still choose. Now, saying that out loud is the hard part. So let me give you the words. Every framework looks tidy on paper. Tuesday at 10:45 is less cooperative. So this is where the reset becomes a conversation, and it sounds like this. Two things changed today. The data came in late, and the new client request moved up. I can have the final proposal to you tomorrow at 10 if the internal report moves to Wednesday. If both have to be done today, I need another person on it. Which one matters most? Listen to what isn't in there. No apology, no blame, no long defense about how busy you are. That's not an excuse. That's the information somebody needs to run the work honestly. And notice what just happened. The reset didn't finish the work. It finished the decision. Now you know what's protected, what moved, who knows, and where the work picks back up. Being responsible was never supposed to mean being silent, and it was never supposed to mean being alone. Now, I need to be honest with you about something this can't fix. A reset can clear up a hard day. It can't fix a job that's short 3 people, though. It can't fix demands that contradict each other, or a manager who won't choose. If you need your evening every single day just to make the numbers work, that may not be only a discipline problem. It may be a capacity pattern. Write it down, then ask for a decision about people, workload, or priority. And if people depend on you for their assignments, now hear this, don't reward your most flexible person by turning them into a permanent shock absorber. That's how you lose them, quietly and usually to somebody who noticed. At Toyota, the cord didn't mean the worker failed. It meant the system should answer. When the work changes, the system should change with it, not just the person. And if what's being asked of you is unsafe or harmful, get real help. Working more efficiently should never cover for something that is broken. Adjusting is responsible, so is admitting the plan may not be the only thing that has to change. So let's finish where we started. Go back to 4:47 in the afternoon. The list is probably still sitting there, some of it unfinished. But unfinished work and unfinished decisions are two different things. You may not finish everything today. You can finish the decision about what happens next. So name what changed, protect what matters, change the route, send the honest message, then let the day end. You don't have to win the whole week back tonight. You are not failing because the day changed. You are leading the moment you are willing to say out loud that did. That's adjusting without panic. So put one word in the comments: sequence, scope, standard, support, or schedule. Which one needs to move this week? I read them, and if the plan is clear but the work still follows you at home, if you're lying there at 11 o'clock at night running tomorrow in your head, that's where we're going next. But for tonight, don't hand over your evening to a plan that already expired. Change the plan, keep the purpose.